All right, pre-show shenanigans. We're going to keep this one short, even though it's a pretty exciting pre-show, to be honest. But we're going to keep it short because I mean, the news today has been
Lot
unreal.
going on today.
I haven't whipped out this Chargers jersey in a while. Okay, I haven't had anything to be excited about the Chargers for in a very long time. So today is going to be very exciting. A lot of NFL today. But quick little pre-show shenanigans. I don't have very much in this story. I didn't go up and meet the person, speak to him, but I saw Bear Alexander on campus today. And let me say, now, as a man who hasn't seen all of Game of Thrones, bear with me here, but I'm aware of who the Mountain is in Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Okay, I'm aware of who that is, and that feeling of any character on screen who just has to fight the Mountain in like those battle arenas, gladiator pits, that feeling you have just looking up. Now, not the exact same feeling because it's not like me and Bear Alexander were about to joust to the death, but wow. I understand why he was such a highly touted player in the transfer portal last year. I understand.
We'll discount the fact that you were like, he kind of sucks mid-season, but discount that.
Well, the one thing, my excuse for as to why I thought Bear at times looked poorly is because there was like zero depth behind him and they overplayed him and he just was just on the field too much. So I'm going to give him the pass there. But wow, that's a big boy. Holy shit. I would not want to block him.
Yeah.
No, I would not.
No. My little experience in this past week though, we beat a ranked team for the first time in like 30 years in basketball.
Weren't they also top 10?
We beat number 10 not Michigan, Memphis. That'd be a double whammy for Michigan, but Memphis last Saturday stormed the court. It's a fun time. Penny Hardaway is their head coach.
Is that the first time you ever stormed the court?
Yes, that's the first time I've ever stormed anything because I was just already on the field for the championship game where it was stormed. So I didn't actively go out of my way to storm it.
But yes, okay.
The action of me storming the field was not present for that. I was just kind of there anyways.
All right. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but because you just brought up the topic of court storming, I need to address
storm chasers.
Clark flopping.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that?
I didn't see that. I did see that. Block or charge?
Blocking foul. Block. 2 free throws. Shoot them. Put him in the double bonus. All right. Yeah. No, that was a bad flop, Caitlin. That was
pretty bad. It took a second. She hit her with like the side of her like torso. And Caitlin looked like she got hit in the fucking head.
It was an Ohio State student. You see the Ohio State student like
try to get out of the way too.
Slightly try to get out of the way, but it's not like the way the media framed at first was that this Ohio State fan beeline to Caitlin Clark to take her out. Okay, that is not what happened.
It's kind of funny
to her either.
It's kind of funny because the more you watch it, obviously, like the fan kind of made away. Caitlin Clark was staring the fan down the whole time and just ran through her. There was no attempt to move out of the way until maybe the contact had already happened.
Yeah, I'll just be honest. As a man who has never stormed the court myself, it's something I need to experience in my life. Like that's a bucket list.
I would say that was it was electric.
Especially when you're a student at the time. I'm not sure how many opportunities.
Here's the thing. I was behind the net. I was standing behind the net on the
student
last
section, I'm guessing.
No. Student section's on like the side. All right. I came late, so I didn't get into the student section. I ended up sitting or standing behind the net.
Wait, so did you front door buy tickets to get in?
No. Students are so free. They were just like literally everybody get in. We're just packing the fucking stadium. Yeah. If you find a seat, great. But I was standing behind the net, and it was the side that Memphis was scoring on in the second half. So with 5 seconds left, and then they go to tie the game, I'm just standing there behind the net, like watching them shoot, and I'm obviously doing stupid shit, trying to get them to miss. I'd like to take credit for from the missing both 3-point attempts to wrap up the game. I'm going to take credit for that.
I will give you credit for that.
It was all me.
Like I will be honest. I think especially in college basketball, just because the jump in like the playing environment from a high school basketball game to a college basketball environment is just such a large jump, just in the excitement, just like the vibes in the arena, that like, oh yeah, the student section can really impact fucking free throws for 18-year-old college kids. Like,
oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
our stadium, I believe our stadium is the smallest, like power 5, power 6, you want to call it.
What
stadium.
That might be echoing louder.
But that's why I'm saying when it is packed, it's loud.
Yeah,
it is because it is small. It's like the smallest on-campus stadium, I believe. I think that's maybe what we said.
Wow, like
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, USC has like an interesting design for their basketball stadium, I guess. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that is a bucket list, wish list moment right there. Getting able to storm the court, especially while being a student at the time of your own
first ranked win and a top 10 team in conference.
Yeah, that's big time right there. Shout out the Wave. Shout out the Wave. You want to shout out any players on the basketball team?
Sion James. Kevin
Cross, I was going to get you for a second. I thought I was going to get you for a second, but okay.
Kevin Cross, you guys. Jalen Forbes, your guy too. I got you.
All right, there we go.
4-3. 4-3.
Just want to quickly shout out former Tulane basketball legend Jelly Walker. Just want to give him a quick shout out. One of my favorite players in March Madness history. But okay, I think that will wrap up the pre-show. We got a lot to talk about today, so let's dive into it. All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to arguably the most important episode in the history of the Waterboy podcast. Okay, today is episode 190, and I don't know his middle name, but just bear with me. Jimothy Michael Harbaugh is officially the Los Angeles Chargers head coach. I will need to double fact check the full name so I can get that ready to go when I need to profess my love for Jim Harbaugh in a couple of seconds. But also, the Raiders made one of the biggest mistakes any franchise could have made right now, especially taking it from a division rival where you should know very closely and very well how poorly of a job he did. Also, Everett, I don't want to bore you too much, but I need to address this shortly. The 2024 MLB Hall of Fame ballots have been submitted. They have been entered.
There's only one person I care about when it comes to that, though.
Well, there's two names.
I will be shouting. You're going to start boring people, so just do it right now.
Yeah, okay. And NFL Conference Championship weekend. There's still the NFL playoffs going on. We got to see who goes to the Super Bowl this weekend. But okay, MLB Hall of Fame. Shout out former Dodgers GOAT Adrian Beltre. Shout out Todd Helton, and shout out the greatest high school athlete to ever come out of the state of Minnesota, Joe Mauer. Okay, I looked up his football stats.
Yep. He was the number one player.
Pretty sure he averaged like 30 and 10 in basketball too.
He was the number one player nationally in the 2001 class in the country.
Now, I don't remember what position he played.
Quarterback.
Maybe you can help. Ball, that makes sense. He's a catcher. Yeah, that lines up. That makes sense. But yeah, we have to give credit where credit is due. I will never forget one of my recent times, or I don't remember when, but one time when I was with you in Minnesota, we ate at a place right next to his old high school, which is called the Joe Mauer Field. So shout out that high school. I don't know which one that is, but shout out the high school that reps Joe Mauer still. Okay, he deserves it. But I'm not here to talk about the 3 players that were inducted into the Hall of Fame. Okay, I'm not here to complain about the stupid MLB Hall of Fame rules and how you need 75% of voters to vote you in to make the Hall of Fame. Okay, well, what are we talking about? Okay, if you're telling me you can get half of these old head, just arrogant, shitty voters, if you could just get half of them to think you're in the Hall of Fame, you're okay. The fact that it's 75 is ridiculous, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. It is disgusting that Carlos Beltran is even allowed to be on the ballot. He masterminded the Astros trash can cheating scandal. And now this is a whole nother debate for a different day. But steroid era players, for the most part, aren't allowed to get in. Some exceptions, David Ortiz, all the alumni, they love David Ortiz, so he's allowed to get in. He did take steroids, by the way, with the Twins. But A-Rod never allowed it. never allowed it. Who's the other? Is it Kurt Schilling? Who's the other? One other pitcher never allowed it. Shit like that, like Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds. But Carlos Beltran was floating at around 60%. Alex Rodriguez was around 30%. So essentially over or double the amount of voters thought Beltran was valuable for the Hall of Fame and not A-Rod. Okay. This is the debate for a different day, but I would argue that knowing what pitch is coming and being the only team at the time to have that advantage is a much bigger advantage than you being one of 30 MLB teams with your entire lineup juiced up on steroids.
Yeah, those two teams, by the way, one of them was the Oakland A's. So the other one was probably the Angels. So, I mean.
Yeah, the Oakland A's trash cans, there's a lot of them around the stadium. So not very difficult to get those trash cans in place. But yeah, it's disgusting that Beltran's even allowed.
Yeah, no, the MLB does not go about their punishments very diligently.
And I mean, the MLB was well aware of the steroid era, and they didn't do anything of it because ratings were up at an all-time high. Mm-hmm. So they didn't do anything about it until it publicly became outrage and like the government got involved. Like literally, they brought in the feds, be like, you need to prove they're doing steroids. I know Barry Bonds cheating, and the Giants still didn't win shit when Barry Bonds played for them.
I promise you that all started one guy missed his like under by half a point. They're like, no fucking way Barry Bonds just hit a grand slam in the bottom of the ninth to give him the win. This is horse shit.
It was probably goes on his Pedro. He never goes on
the OG 2003 fucking brick Apple computer, just starts filing all the paperwork.
Oh yeah. Last thing I just want to say real quick on the Baseball Hall of Fame, massive shout out to the 5 voters who voted Big Sexy Bartolo Colon in the Hall of Fame. Those 5 voters, you have officially proven that you are mentally, emotionally, and just everything, you are capable of being an MLB Hall of Fame voter. For those 5 voters, you have a lifetime position voting for the Hall of Fame. For the other voters, I don't know how many there are. You guys are all, we got to reconsider. They have to take the test to prove that they're still competent enough to be an MLB Hall of Fame voter.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Moving on. I think it's probably best to go into college football if you have it, and then to the NFL. Otherwise,
very little college football that kind of more so blends in with the NFL. The only strictly college football news, which is pretty still NFL related, is that I think, please correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think CJ Stroud is the first current NFL player to donate to their college's NIL collective, or at least publicly.
I was not even aware that happened.
Well, that just happened a couple days ago. I would assume that that's not the first case, but at least that's like the first one I saw.
At least publicly.
Yeah, publicly. And so like it got announced he donated anywhere from 50 to 100K, which probably means 100K. But I want to shout out to CJ. He's a warrior. Okay. Don't say he never did anything for Ohio State because he went 0-2 against Michigan, like how I used to say.
Now I don't know what else you really had, but I'm gonna bring this up.
No, that was like the only little fun.
Michigan losing Jim Harbaugh has now opened up the portal for another 30 days for Michigan players to leave. 1, who do you think leaves? Who do you think stays? 2, who is Ohio State claiming? And 3, who the fuck's gonna be the next coach of the Michigan Wolverines?
Okay, quick, short answer summaries to your 3 answers. There's only 3 players I care about that could enter the portal. Ohio State will not get any of the Michigan players in the portal, but that's okay. And 3, Sharon Moore. But okay, we could kind of answer a lot of these questions here all together. So we don't know who the rest of Jim Harbaugh's staff for the Chargers are going to be. We don't know that yet. But it has been just linked for a while now that he is very, very highly likely going to take defensive coordinator Jesse Minter and his son, Jay Harbaugh, special teams coach at Michigan, with him. So that's what's been the heavy rumor. I'm expecting that to happen. In terms of the offensive side, I believe Greg Roman.
I saw that name. I would be a little scared.
I don't know exactly.
I'd be a little scared because Greg Roman,
Yeah,
not a
no,
great history.
I'm not hyped. I'm
not a great
hyped
history with
hyped.
wide receivers. So
yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not necessarily
and can
hyped on that
honestly
one,
though, honestly, no, you should be, because maybe that means they fucking trade away Michael Williams and Keenan Allen. Maybe that actually that's
dude,
saying
actually
they
might
don't
that might
like,
finally
hey,
get them
we
to do
we
it.
don't need these guys. We don't
We
give me
want
Quentin Johnson.
They'll all look shit anyway, so we might as well just get cheap guys. Yeah, but offense, I don't really know exactly, but Jesse
maybe you
Minter
can convince. Oh, actually, never mind. He's a free agent. So yeah.
Ooh.
Continue. I was going to say maybe can convince Tom Telesco to give you Josh Jacobs for Quentin Johnston, but he's a free agent, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but Jesse Minter should be going with. So back to the Michigan perspective now. Now we all just saw what happened to Alabama. Okay, that's obviously a much different circumstance. It's Nick Saban leaving. It is an outside hire coming in, Kalen DeBoer. I would also go so far to say that a good amount of players on the Alabama roster did not even know who Kalen DeBoer was like 3 months before he became their head coach.
I don't think many people knew before the season who he was.
Yeah. It's a whole different circumstance there that I understand compared to Michigan. So Sharon Moore, we can pretty much announce it. Michigan can pretty much announce this right now. Sharon Moore is going to be the next head coach.
If I were them too, I'd be announcing it like tonight.
Yeah, it's right now.
Like the team's in a meeting right now.
Yeah, if anything, announce it to the team. But Sharon Moore will almost 99.9% chance become the next head coach of the Michigan Wolverines. I did hear Brian Kelly getting floated around there, but even Michigan's not stupid enough to go after that. So they're not that dumb. But with Sharon Moore taking over the OC, those guys love Sharon Moore. Donovan Edwards is a name that I'm looking at who could potentially enter the transfer portal. Now, I mean, obviously Michigan has a lot of guys like graduating or entering the draft that like can't even enter the portal. But from that offensive side of the ball, Donovan Edwards is a name I'm keeping my eye on to see what he could do. But because Sharon Moore is likely going to be head coach, I don't expect him to. However, other side of the ball, Harbaugh's gone and Minter's gone. Now, I don't know exactly the rest of the staff, but it wouldn't surprise me if a couple other position coaches from Michigan also came over to the Chargers to join the staff too. And with that much coaching turnover on the defensive side of the ball and at Harbaugh, Will Johnson and Mason Graham, I am almost 1,000,000% certain that they are already getting calls from NIL collectives right now, if you know what I mean, Everett. Would not be surprising me if they are getting phone calls right now about their 30-day transfer portal window that just opened. So Mason Graham and Will Johnson are the two names that I would be over the moon if they left Michigan. I don't even care. I don't expect them to even consider Ohio State. I'm not even going to put that out there. But just them, Michigan losing those guys, that's going to be the biggest win of all of this. Now, these next thing, all rumors. I don't know this exactly, but I know Will Johnson and Damani Jackson, former 5-star at USC. He had just transferred to Alabama, but he transferred to Alabama before Saban retired. So Damani Jackson technically has his 30-day transfer portal window open right now. I'm hearing they're a package deal. I'm hearing Damani Jackson and Will Johnson are a package deal. They're both technically in the portal right now.
Welcome to Georgia.
I don't know. Yeah, I know. But that's just what I'm hearing. So I don't know. Ohio State, as of right now, I don't expect Will Johnson to even pick up a phone call from Ohio State. Damani Jackson, I don't necessarily think Ohio State would start Damani Jackson next year anyway if they took him. So I don't expect Ohio State to be in on those guys. Mason Graham would be sick if he went to Ohio State. I'm not going to put that out there. But if they just leave Michigan, that's the win. That's what I'm looking for here. We'll see. But keep in mind, it's internal hire. So, and even though it's the OC game promoted, their defensive coaches are gone. I would still lean more towards them staying at Michigan than leaving. I've just heard that NIL collectives have been waiting for this Harbaugh news to break because Michigan's got some players that could enter the portal. But I guess now I can, before we transition over to like the full Chargers NFL aspect, I'm kind of just so happy that Michigan's downgrading. I haven't really had a time to process. My NFL teams might actually be good now. Maybe. I mean, still up for debate. But last thing on Michigan itself, college, I guess. I don't know about you, Everett, but I've actually never said a bad thing about Jim Harbaugh in my life. I'm going to be the biggest Jim Harbaugh stan in the history of the internet moving forward. Jim Harbaugh's my guy. All right. He went to the Super Bowl year 2 with a backup quarterback, Colin Kaepernick. It's unreal what this guy does. What he did at Stanford, he made them revolutionary with Andrew Luck. And best of all, he took one of the most mediocre blue blood in college football and brought them a national championship. So I can't deny that he's an excellent football coach. I can't deny that. That is true. Those are facts, and he's now mine.
Yeah, I mean, here's the question though: are you more excited that he's your next head coach, or that you no
way
longer
more
have to
excited that Michigan's downgrading? Way more excited that Michigan's downgrading. I'm not gonna lie.
I think even if this becomes even if the Chargers suck with him, you're still gonna be like, you know what? At least he's not in Michigan.
It's better than Staley too. like it is. And I mean, I guess I probably shouldn't think like this, but I give him like a 1-year wash because this is Telesco's fucking team. And some changes need to be made with this current roster because, like, I mean, they're not winning. I mean, on paper, people be like, oh, Chargers have a top 10 roster. I don't think they have a shot of winning the Super Bowl next year if everyone was magically healthy. Like, changes got to be made.
Yeah.
We need a corner, damn it.
Good luck with that one.
I'm just saying it's going to be very, very funny when the Chargers trade Justin Herbert to like the fucking Vikings and then we draft JJ McCarthy. That might break my heart. That might kill me.
How on a scale of 1 to 10, how scared are you of either 1, JJ being on your team, or 2, Justin Herbert is given away for JJ McCarthy? Because I mean, Harbaugh said himself, he is the best quarterback in college history.
Yeah. Hey, that's what my coach said. Okay. Those are his words.
You stand by what he said.
Oh, he's actually never made an incorrect statement in his life. Everything he's ever said is true. So yeah. But am I concerned about that actually happening? No. I do know that a couple years ago, Jim Harbaugh was not interviewing, but like talking to like Rappaport, and he mentioned 4 years ago that Justin Herbert is the best young quarterback in the NFL when bringing up him, Mahomes, Josh Allen.
No, yeah, I've seen that.
So like, I think this is, well, in terms of NFL career, definitely gonna be the most talented quarterback.
I do think that,
to say the most talented quarterback ever, but Andrew Luck exists. So
I do think that that people actually kind of have to realize, because after we posted the offseason wish list, we were still getting comments about it, but people need to realize when you have a new coach and a new GM like together specifically, even just a new coach, but both a new GM and a new coach, especially one like Harbaugh, you have to redo. Literally, you have to overhaul the whole roster. The Chargers are not in a position where if you decide to keep Bosa, Mack, Keenan, and Mike Williams,
Irwin, Mike,
if you decide to keep all of them, it is not in a position where you guys are going to be able to win. Like, you are only harming yourself in order to actually win. Like, sometimes it's like, you know, you have to cut off like an arm or a leg to like actually like save yourself. Like, that's essentially what you're doing. You have,
we're going like 127 hours, that movie.
yeah, no. So, you know, that's
yeah, I mean, there's sunk costs. There are sunk costs on this team. You know what? It sucks. I know. Tom Telesco gave him these fucking contracts. I'm pissed about it too. But hey, there's nothing we can do about it except move on and improve and be better.
But if you get rid of them, like, yeah, you'll have dead cap, but at the same time, you know how much fucking cap space that opens, not for this season, but in 2 years?
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh my God.
Like, this season, kind of think of it as a wash. Like,
also great wide receiver class, great wide receiver market, great running back market, great running back class. Defensively, like corners, there's some good corners. There's good corners in the draft. Like there's a lot, the positions that they need. There are a lot of prospects there outside of the line. There's not really like too many great O linemen. Besides our boy Sincere, by the way, you guys, Chargers, Harbaugh, Sincere Haynesworth, next center.
Write that shit down.
Next
write
center.
That shit down. Hey, let me
starting
write that
center
down.
for the Los Angeles Chargers. Write that down right now. Write that down.
Hey, we have an opening. We have an opening in LA. And I don't think Will Clapp will be retained as the center next year. So
well, I had you guys signing him again, but getting the Cowboys center. I had to keep him as a backup.
How do you pronounce his name again?
Biadish,
yes.
Biadish.
Biadiaszz.
Z.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
Crazy spelling. But yeah. I'm very interested to see, potential moves that could end up happening with Chargers. Like I'm just expecting, like, in terms of the big names we were just bringing up. I know Keenan got hurt, but he had a crazy good season last year. So definitely still a trade can't, like, some team will take him.
He got hurt, but also like he had essentially
rose his stock. Like he just had his statistics.
So like, first of all, what you got to realize, you're not getting a first round pick for any of these.
No, I'm not getting
But I'm just saying. I'm not saying that you don't know that. I'm just saying in general, like people have to understand what the markets actually are. Like Keenan Allen, if you send him to a contender, maybe could get a second round pick. Maybe.
Ooh, I think that's a boost. I was thinking, third, I'd be like, fuck yeah.
You probably get like a third and a five, third and a six, or something like that. But the reason, I mean, Keenan Allen,
saying, just a third. Fuck yeah.
Keenan Allen just had such. I mean, with this contract, is probably gonna be a third. Nobody's want to pick up that contract, but like, because he's also 32, so you have to pay a massive contract to a dude who's 33, hasn't played a full season. He was still, even though he played essentially a full season this year,
injury shit.
Even though he essentially played a full season, he was still hurt. Like who like what teams would take him right now? That's like actually because I feel like you would not trade for him unless it makes you like a Super Bowl contender. So like the Cardinals, who would need a wide receiver, they're not trading for him.
Yeah, that was not a name I was thinking of.
I'm just thinking of teams that are wide receiver needy, and that would put them in the contention there. Like no Seahawks, they don't have cap for it.
No, and also they don't need Jets.
Maybe. You gotta remember what the wide receiver market is this year, though, with T. Higgins, Michael Pittman, Mike Evans, Odell Beckham Jr., Darnell Mooney, KJ Osborne, Curtis Samuel.
Thank you for giving my guy props, but he should not be in that list.
But like, I don't know, the Chiefs. You want to trade him in division? Chiefs, Raiders, give him to Telesco. Give him to Telesco, even though like
I do that. That's cool. No Chiefs. No. That would kill me. Mahomes winning a Super Bowl with Keenan Allen. Oh my God.
Jaguars.
Ooh, yeah. And I think Ridley is a free agent too.
He is a free agent.
And I'm gonna guess they're gonna move off of him. That'd be my guess.
Probably. Probably.
Maybe they can get him for cheaper. Something
Patriots,
now, but I don't
which would make no sense.
Nah.
Patriots.
Nah.
Bills.
Lean towards no, but maybe. I'd say no.
Cowboys. I don't know if they have got fucking.
And for Keenan's sake, no.
Eagles.
If AJ Brown requests out.
Maybe. I don't know. Regardless, Mike Evans, though, that's a 5th round pick. Nobody's taking his bum ass. So
I'm not even sure if we can get a 5th.
For that,
dude, Mike Dubb, bro.
It's like when Brock Osweiler got traded to the Browns. Remember that? From Houston. They were like, we don't want his cap anymore, and they traded him to the Browns.
Was it the Browns, not the Broncos? Was it Broncos?
He was on
Texans,
the Broncos.
Browns?
Broncos, Texans, Browns.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember that one. You want me to be completely honest?
That's a trivia. That's a trivia name. That's a trivia.
It's that Osweiler trade to Cleveland from my brain. I did not know Osweiler was on the back of the Cleveland quarterback last name list. I did not.
I'm pretty sure.
Not know Osweiler was on there.
Let's see. Brock Osweiler. Let's just go through. I just know
the legendary stretch of like Whedon, Manziel, like RG3, I think got a start. Like that stretch. That's the GOAT years, right?
I didn't know he played at Arizona State. Yeah. So Denver, Houston, Cleveland, Miami.
Yeah, no, Brock's a dog. Trust me. Brock's a baller. And also, I believe he gets a couple of like spot commentator calls for ESPN or Fox now.
Sometimes. Yeah. I think he's on a
Tulane game this year.
Yep, football. He does college football. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, those were kind of the interesting things about this Harbaugh news.
I know we do have to talk about the game slate for this week. But before we get there, there's like music playing outside. Okay. I just need to say something. So I don't know how much attention or what you've heard about this, but there is a full-on war in the NFC North fan bases on Twitter right now. Can you hear this?
No. I'm interested about this war. I'm not familiar.
Somebody's playing like Hispanic music outside my house right now.
I can't hear anything.
Box. All right. Anyway, so there's a full-on war between the NFC North Twitter base, specifically with the Lions fans and Vikings fans, but just Lions fans versus everybody. So we talked about before, the Lions are like the redheaded stepson, the middle child, right? Like you cheer for them, but they're like the little brother, right? That's just what they are. They're the little brother, right? Regardless, in the playoffs, obviously, you're not going to cheer for your fucking division rival to win. Obviously, I'm not going to cheer for the Lions or the Packers to go anywhere in the playoffs. Cool story during the regular season. Cool story, right? But in the playoffs, no, fuck you. There's been a full-on war between Lions fans and Vikings fans where it's gotten to the point where Lions fans are so they're not acting like they've been here before. They got some ounce of success and now it's all gone on their heads. They're basically saying, wow, this playoff thing's really easy. Like, how come it's so hard for your guys' teams to win? Like, this is so easy. They won by 1 point versus the Rams and 3 points versus Bucks, even though, it was because of a pick at the end of the game. There's just being like, oh, the Lions own your franchise. Dude, you played against us twice without our starting quarterback. And you let our backup throw 300 yards on you both times.
This has been a long journey this year, but it's about time that you're just become a Detroit hater. I've been waiting for it. It's taken a while, but we're finally here.
Then they go, Kirby Joseph, the safety. You know him. I know you know who Kirby Joseph is.
I know that.
They're like, oh, he owns your franchise. I'm sorry. They played a highlight clip of him on his hits versus the Vikings.
What did he do?
Well, you know what he did was fucking take out Hawkinson's kneecap. He took Dan Campbell's statements a little too literally. But they were showing highlights of his hits on the Vikings.
And there's want to accuse Dan Campbell of a bounty gate though. All right, that's
I will. He was on staff.
Oh, we are shit. Okay,
he was on state. He was on the Saints staff on bounty gate, right?
You think I have a track record of all these coaches? No, I did not know.
Okay.
Now I know.
But they have a highlight reel here of all these hits that Kirby Joseph made versus the Vikings. There's a hit in our second game where Justin Jefferson catches the ball and he gets leveled by Kirby Joseph, and Justin Jefferson pops right back up. They conveniently clipped it, 1, before Justin Jefferson pops back up, and 2, before Kirby Joseph gets up and then falls to the ground because he hurt himself on the hit. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Things happen.
And my favorite thing, the argument got to a point. Well, one, people are going, these Lions fans are like, oh, must be sad. The Vikings have the shittiest future out of any team in the NFC North. Dude, we have the best wide receiver. We have the best wide receiver in the NFL. We have Jordan Addison, who, by the way, I don't know. I would probably say he's better than every wide receiver on your roster besides Amon-Ra St. Brown. TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah, we could say that. Yeah,
TJ Hawkinson, who would have been, if we want to go into fantasy land, would have been better than Sam Laporta in fantasy this year. Still better tight end this year until you fucking took out his kneecap, Dan. O-line.
We are crediting that to Dan Campbell, correct?
Kirby Joseph, but Dan did say, hey, he's playing fair.
Got it.
Bullshit.
Okay.
Offensive line, offensive line. Okay, I'll give you guys. Your offensive line is better than ours. Okay,
but our offensive Hawk looks damn good. Fucking sweep the leg.
Defense. Oh, are you fucking kidding me with the defense? Your secondary and our secondary, both dog shit. Outside of Aiden Hutchinson, tell me one fucking player on your defense you would like right now. Keep in mind, Ivan Pace, who's a UDFA, was selected to the all-rookie team with your linebacker who you took in the first round. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, Jack Campbell.
Who was not good for half the season. Last thing, my favorite thing, because this got deleted. I'm actually looking at it right now, and this post got limited. They limited the amount of people that can look at it. They went on private. This guy used the spread. They're like, Lions are 70 and like 15 versus the spread in their last 2 years, in the last 50 games. Vikings are 36 and 40. This is why the Lions are better. Dude, are we fucking saying that if the Vikings beat the shit out of the Lions by 3 points and don't cover their 7-point spread, that the Lions are better? Are we fucking stupid? Like, I don't understand. What like, why are we arguing with spreads? It's like saying that the Vikings have hit their over in the last 6 games. They're better than the Lions offense this year. What are we doing? What are we like? I don't understand how Lions fans go from being so like innocent and so like actually enjoyable to be around to just being fucking idiots and just being annoying.
Oh, I know. As a college football fan, I see it quite often myself. I don't know. Maybe this one fan base, I don't know, Michigan fans. Now they have a championship. It is slightly different, but a better example, Tennessee fans, Everett. Tennessee last year, okay, they beat Alabama. They did it. True. But Tennessee fans had the gall all offseason to really be like, whoa, Ohio State, you guys are a third world country compared to us, the Tennessee Volunteers, okay? We actually have history, culture, and tradition, unlike you suck eyes. And these Tennessee fans, okay, delusional, crazy. Oklahoma fans, after coming off their 6-6 year, and they just went 10-2, they're now under the impression that they're going to win the SEC next year. Texas fans, they thought they were back.
They did look like it for a second, though. I'll give them that. They did look like it. I hope. This
is
regardless if it is this game, which I hope it would be, or the Super Bowl. I would rather, if the Lions make the Super Bowl, I would rather have a super shitty Super Bowl where the Ravens won 50-6 than have anything else happen. I hope you get absolutely fucking annihilated.
%. Yeah. You're saying the correct answer here as a Vikings fan. So yeah, I mean, they are like little brother of the NFC North. That's kind of how you.
But it's like you know, when the little brother tries to like, you know, like you guys are both finally in high school and the little brother's like, hey, yeah, I'm as cool as you, right? Like, look at me.
Trust me, I've been there.
Oh no,
I was the little brother.
Yeah, no. Okay. Sorry, I just had to eviscerate these fucking. I don't.
I've been waiting for fucking.
The fact that you bring up
for a while.
Who the fuck brings up spreads? Who the fuck brings up spreads to argue that a team is better? Who the fuck cares? Who cares?
The only way I would have let them like use that as an argument if they start off with, we are great because of our record against the spread, but because they didn't specify that, I can't credit. Good teams win, great teams cover. All I got. I
just also it bewilders me to the fact that people are like, yeah, we're better. Look, we fucking shit on you this year, dude. Do I need to remind you of everything that's happened up to this point? And they're like, well, why should I care about the past? Well, because you're caring about the past fucking season. You're caring about what's happened this year, which is in the past right now. Where our quarterback didn't exist.
You were putting me through deja vu of every text chain I've had with Michigan people over the past 3 years. Like literally.
Oh, you know what's similar? You know what's similar?
Up right now?
You know what's fucking similar? They're both in fucking Michigan.
Well, okay, sure, yeah.
Maybe it's just the state. Maybe it's the state.
It could be.
Okay.
Hey, I'm just saying they've had a grim outlook for a long time now. Okay, grim out. So I mean, hey.
You know, I was happy for you, and guess what? If you didn't decide to just
no, I'm happy. I needed violence. This version of Everett.
You didn't choose violence.
I was sick of you
Things
being like,
would be okay.
Yeah, we like the Lions. I was like, no,
but it got to a point where I was cheering for fucking Baker Mayfield to beat you. That's where there's a problem.
Yeah, that that's should not where we draw the line in the sand. Okay, that's where we take a fucking stand and have to put our foot in the ground. And
now, if I had I don't know what I would have done if it was Lions Packers in the NFC Championship. I really don't know what
we don't even need to think. Good thing we don't even need to think.
Yeah. Okay.
That would have been really bad.
First thing, a couple other things. Just want to say, Dave Canales, however you pronounce it, he's the Bucs OC. Speaking of the Bucs, the Bucs OC. So he revived Baker Mayfield, right? Brought him back from the dead. He's done a pretty good job there. He also, by the way, revived Geno Smith the year prior in Seattle. He's having a second interview with the Panthers. Honestly, not a bad option. I like that.
Bryce Young back? Well,
maybe.
He was never here to begin with, so he can't be back. But is Bryce Young here?
Maybe. I just think that it's interesting. Geno Smith we talked about this with the offseason wish list. Geno Smith did a lot worse this year. Now we know why. The guy who kind of put him together, no longer there. Some people are just like that. Other thing that's interesting, the referee that the NFL has assigned to this Ravens-Chiefs game, okay? Sean Smith, former NFL player, first player to actually be a referee in this game.
Wow.
And also, sorry. Maybe I'm wrong about that. There's a referee who's going to be in the Super Bowl who's a former player in the Super Bowl. I don't believe Sean Smith was a former player. Regardless.
Yes. Yeah.
Sean Smith, who's refereeing this game, has given a massive edge to road teams. Road teams have the number one highest win rate when he is a referee. He penalizes home teams way more than any other ref does.
Now, these are the numbers we're looking for.
And the most important thing,
he's a diehard Kansas City Chiefs fan, isn't he?
Let me just ask you this. How much more revenue, how many more views do you think the NFL's gotten since Taylor Swift was involved?
You know, I couldn't quantify an exact number, but I'm going to guess per Chiefs broadcast compared to if Taylor Swift didn't date Travis Kelce, I would say at least an 80% increase.
I don't have the actual numbers, so
I'm just talking out of my ass here.
So they assigned him to him after this past week once the Chiefs won. That's all I'm saying. If the Chiefs lost, I feel like this guy would not have been here. I think that there's a low-key agenda where they're like, hey.
Just low-key?
Just low-key. Just low-key.
We sure it's
just low-key.
Okay, all right.
Home team, when he's been a referee, home teams have won 40% of the games. So 60% of the games where he's been a ref, the away team has won. During that same span of those 40% of those games, home teams won 55% of all other games.
And is he reffing AFC or NFC Championship game this weekend?
AFC, Chiefs versus Ravens. Chiefs at Ravens.
All right. Okay. Yep. All right.
Fun fact though, home teams are 17, 29, and 3 against the spread, 37%. So
Michigan and the Chiefs winning a bowl in the same year. I mean,
but little interesting thing. The NFL is assigning very biased refs for the Chiefs.
Well, it's
2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row. Yeah, 2 weeks in a row.
This is gonna be fixed. If I'm the NFL right now, I'm going to ensure that the Chiefs, or actually, I was gonna say ensure the Chiefs win the coin toss. No. I'm going to ensure that the Chiefs start the game with the football. Because I think the Chiefs, this is just cheating aside, Chiefs bullshit aside. I don't know if the Ravens can come back down double digits on any of these remaining teams left. I don't know if they can. I don't know, though, if anyone can go up double digits on the Ravens.
Probably not.
So it goes both ways. But I feel like if I'm game planning here, like I need to get the Ravens off schedule. I need to make them start throwing the ball and go away from their run-heavy offense. Like, I need to make them start doing what they don't normally do. And I feel like that's a way to run away with this game. Because if it's still a one-score game in the second half and the Ravens can just still operate with their offense and everything, like, I'm gonna give that edge to Baltimore, especially in Baltimore. But
now let's get into these game picks, and let's get into the Super Bowl logo theory.
Okay.
I believe
real
you
quick,
have
we do the logo
evidence
theory.
for that. Yeah, let's do that.
So starting 2 years ago, the NFL, they went away from their boring ass logos that they did for like the past decade, where it was literally just the Lombardi trophy and then the Roman numerals. Now they're making the Roman numerals bigger and like coloring them. So 2 years ago, it was a very interesting color detail of this logo of orange and yellow, a year that the Bengals and the Rams matched up in the Super Bowl. The following year, a very unique color scheme of a Philadelphia Eagles green, which is a very specific green, and red. Now, just if I was a graphic designer, those two colors aren't necessarily your first thought of colors that blend and combine well together. So that's a little interesting how that ended up being Eagles Chiefs. But this year, the new Super Bowl logo is red and purple, which people are hinting or alleging, assuming that we're going to have a rematch Super Bowl Niners Ravens from the Harbaugh Bowl.
Now, what's also very interesting, Jim Harbaugh just hired back to the NFL. So maybe it's a whole like timing thing. They're like,
and there was this back. I was trying to quickly.
You think the Spanos family just could have paid Goodell, be like, hey, we need an extra incentive here. Can you be like, can you do this for us and just show him how much he means to our organization? That we literally fixed the Super Bowl for you so that you can have sentimentality.
Yeah, no, I think Roger would definitely be willing to cooperate with the Spanos family on that end. I think though Dan Snyder still has some power, so he probably would block it.
Oh,
but like
makes sense.
In theory, I think Goodell would support it. I know Snyder wouldn't. But God, I forgot where I was about to go with this.
You were saying you looked into it. They did some research into it to disprove it.
Oh yeah, okay. This is it. I did some research to try to disprove it because I just realized, wait a second. Purple and red this upcoming year, those are just the 1 seeds. Last year, Chiefs and Eagles were both the 1 seeds. Rams, Bengals were both not 1 seeds. So I disproved that. And I don't have confirmation that those previous 2 logos were released in advance of the Super Bowl. Like
they were
to me.
They're released because we have next year's logo. All right. We have next year's logo. All right.
Never mind. Oh yeah, that shit's rigged. That shit's rigged.
All I want to say, I'm going to ask you this one time.
Ravens Niners Super Bowl.
So next year's Super Bowl is in New Orleans. Okay.
And Ravens are going to win. Wait, no.
Next year's Super Bowl colors are green and purple. Which 2 teams are making the Super Bowl?
Are the Ravens the only purple team? Does anyone else have Vikings? Fuck, I'm so sorry. Okay.
So unless you're about to say the Packers or the Eagles and Ravens, I have mine. I know
there's
what
only one combo I think I could do for you. How many green AFC teams are there?
Jets.
Jaguars. That's what I thought right away.
Kind of green, teal. Yeah, I guess you'd have to be a little more specific.
All right. Jets, Vikings. There you go. You're welcome. Be nice.
Seahawks also would technically count as that green too. It's another option.
I guess they do. That adds a wrench into the well, we can confirm that
our first NFC Super Bowl,
correct?
Huh? Next year,
we can confirm the Ravens or Jets.
Or the Jets would have to. It'd have to be
because
there's
only 2 purple teams. So if it was the Vikings, then it has to be the Jets.
Yeah.
And if it isn't the Vikings, then it's the Ravens. You get what I'm saying? Like, we can confirm Ravens or Jets are playing in the Super Bowl.
And I'm hoping it's the Jets because Aaron Rodgers last season, like.
Oh. Okay. Would it be? What would be more special for you as a Vikings fan? beating Aaron Rodgers as a Jet in the Super Bowl.
Yes, that.
Bouncing the Packers in the NFC Championship game.
I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
If I'm winning a Super Bowl, nothing else matters to me. You're telling me I'm winning.
Let me rephrase.
You're telling me
in both scenarios, you win the Super Bowl. In both scenarios, you win the Super Bowl.
Packers, get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
If I won the Super Bowl either way, yeah, Packers, get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
It don't matter. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's get these game picks for this, and I guess it's gonna get to our Super Bowl matchup projected would be anyway. So let's give our projected Super Bowl matchup game as winner as well, and then we'll go back on it next week.
I think you beat me in the picks last week. I also did not.
I also don't remember
picks, so I'll go first.
Hey man, there's 2 games. It's only 2 games.
I'm giving you the Super Bowl, who's winning the Super Bowl and who they're beating in the Super Bowl. The San Francisco 49ers will beat the Kansas City Chiefs in a Super Bowl rematch from 2020.
So you're going against the Kirk Cousins curse and against the logo.
Yep.
Okay. Bold. Give me the Harbaugh Bowl. Give me the fucking Ravens to win it again.
Okay.
I also think it's going to be like 31-17.
Yeah. I think that range adds up. If it's going to be a Ravens dub, well,
I want mentioned right now.
That's a route.
If that happens, time stamping this January 24th, 7:23 p.m. CDT. All right. If that happens, I'm going to buy a lottery ticket immediately. So.
Yeah, I mean, there could be some moving pieces.
Also, if somebody decides to bet that exact scoreline right now, I'm requiring a 1% fee of that. Thank you. Okay. All right.
Shit. On second thought, I feel slightly not. I'm not changing the pick. I'm going to say whoever wins the AFC Championship game is going to win the Super Bowl. I'm sticking with my thing, whatever. But
yeah, okay.
I don't think the Niners are going to win if they get to the Super Bowl. That's the math I just did in my head.
Yeah, no. Okay. Now, I don't know how much you want to actually talk about these matchups in general.
I'm really excited specifically to see how the Niners could, because I feel like in recent weeks, I am just expecting more of the Niners offense. I don't think Debo is going to be playing. He didn't practice today. Maybe he'll be good, but like something that I've been thinking about, quite interesting. I know Debo's production has definitely dropped off since McCaffrey has joined the team, but it's just Debo being on the field is just another man you have to worry about as a defense. And like, I don't care if Debo doesn't get a touch in these next 2 games. Like, he needs to be good and ready to go for the Niners to like stay dynamic on offense. Cause like, it's a little weird right now for the Niners. Like, I just feel like from where they were like halfway through the season, how dominant they were playing, I just feel like they have not replicated that nearly the same second half.
I mean, yeah, with Debo, it's a little bit more difficult. Also,
much easier matchup than what Ravens and Chiefs have with the Lions. But like, I don't know if they're covering that 7. Like, shit, I don't know. I feel like we'll know if the Niners are covering that 7 within the first.
I think it's going to be a very close game, but also like I'm moderately concerned that the Lions, like, it matches up pretty well, and it's like offense, defense wise, team wise. So it's a matter of, are you going to rather take a team's defense versus their offense, or another team's offense, better offense versus a better defense? Shitty offense, shitty defense, better offense, better defense. I shouldn't say shitty. The 49ers offense is actually good, but without Debo, it's kind of lethargic. So that's,
yeah, it just takes away an aspect regardless.
Now,
of
if you ask me,
numbers,
like I said, Lions do not have a fucking secondary. Unless Kirby Joseph is planning on snapping Christian McCaffrey's kneecap mid-game, which, hey, don't rule it out. All right. If there's an odds sheet for that, it's probably like plus 200 right now. consecutive fucking knee snapping weeks. All right. So unless that happens, I don't foresee that secondary doing much. The problem is going to be the D line. However, when you have a Aiden Hutchinson versus, that pretty big guy, Trent Williams, I don't really know what else they're going to be able to do, because if you hold Aiden Hutchinson together, that rest of that defensive line is not like fantastic. So, okay.
Yeah.
Cardinals. Ravens, thinking of a different bird. Ravens and Chiefs. Ravens absolutely have massacred great teams this season. They beat the 49ers, massacred the Dolphins. Browns, they lost you, by the way, massacred your Chargers, massacred the Lions, 38-6. Have yet to play the Chiefs this postseason. Also,
wait. By you mentioning massacre the Chargers, are you hinting that Chargers are a pretty good team?
You guys did lose.
You open that up with they've beaten some pretty good teams pretty bad.
You guys did lose. The Chargers. You guys did lose to them by only 10 points, and the Lions lost to them by 32. So,
I'm not even looking at that angle. I'm more so just
hey, Lions fans. That's actually how you do a comparison. We do not use over under, and we do not use spread. That's how you do comparisons. Okay. But I honestly think the Ravens are just about to actually fucking game end the Chiefs. With Patrick Mahomes,
I want that so
with Patrick
bad,
Mahomes, you're never going to be out of it. But I
know. Trust me, I know.
So, okay. To wrap up the episode, I have one off-season wish list, I believe. I just got to double check this, make sure it's actually completed.
Sorry, I just want to say real quick on that last thing. I know we were talking about like who can go up double digits on the Ravens. I just thought to myself, hey, whatever, if Mahomes is in the game, it doesn't matter what the lead is. No lead is safe. I might be jinxing myself. I might be setting myself up for failure, but can this Kansas City Chiefs team come back double digits on the Ravens in the second half?
No.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
You have two fantastic linebackers. Secondary is actually pretty good. The defensive line is fucking like no shot. I'm sorry, no shot. You don't. If you had Tyreek Hill, I'd give it to you. Because
if Taylor Swift was quarterback, maybe.
I mean, hey, with this referee, I don't fucking know. But all right, I'm actually going to save this offseason wish list. Go check this out on TikTok over the weekend if you want it. I got to edit it a little bit. With that, thank you guys so much for watching, listening, raise 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and on Instagram at WaterboyPod. Make sure to follow me and Grant on Twitter at Everett Takes and at WaterboyGrant. Post new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. So make sure to subscribe to us there and turn on notifications. Tell your friends about us. And we post new TikToks every Tuesday to Sunday, including our off-season wish list. We're starting to put those over on Instagram as well. If you're not a fan of TikTok for whatever reason, I know some people aren't. But with that, we'll see you guys in the next episode when the Lions have been eliminated from the playoffs. Waterboy's out.